will start my introduction with the chief host of this event in the person of Ambassador Dr. Oyedokun, who is the president and founder of IIM. Please stand up for recognition. Let's give him a big round of applause. Introducing the vice president, you just heard her. She was the one that gave us the opening prayer, and the person of Princess Tiwalade Fakbunda. You are welcome. And of IIM, in the person of Mrs. Rhoda. We also have some fellows in the house. I'll be introducing Ms. Titilola Akombi. You are welcome. And we have our key speaker here, and he came right on time. We are very grateful. His name is Mr. Musa. He's a fellow of the Institute. He's the chief archivist, record and data officer. Thank you for coming right on time. You are welcome. So I'll quickly call on the president and the founder, Dr. Ambassador Oyedokun, to give us his welcome address.
Distinguished guests, members of the IIM Board of Directors, Executive Council, and Management, it's indeed a great pleasure having you all here today for the 2023 IIM Abuja Summit Induction and Investiture. The Institute of Information Management is glad and pleased to have you all here. As we all know, the Institute is the premier international professional institute in the field of data, information records, content, archives, and knowledge management. As a professional institute, we strive to promote excellence in data and information management in the society. The Institute had value to both public and private organizations in promoting agility, efficiency, and effectiveness in business operations. And looking at the current trend across the globe, data and information has become an essential tool to the success of any organization or even as individuals. Data and information plays a pivotal role in ensuring that businesses and governments are able to achieve their objectives by providing relevant and useful insights that could actually assist them when it comes to decision making. And today we have a very important theme for the 2023 summit here in Abuja, which has to do with data governance for business growth. We believe that in order to promote any kind of efficiency in an organization, there is need to ensure that there is proper data governance in place. So when we talk about data governance, what are we talking about? We're talking about the need for organizations and governments to ensure that in all their operations, they are able to leverage on the necessary framework that would facilitate easy access to data, that will facilitate access to information that could help in making informed decisions. A lot of organizations that are suffering today from breaking faults, some of the challenges they have faced could be traced to lack of data governance. Data governance is key, it is important, and for us to succeed as a nation, we need to have proper data governance in place, ensuring that the adequate policies, specifications, standards are actually leveraged on to ensure that we're able to access and benefit from insights being generated by the data that we generate in the course of our day-to-day business activities. So the Institute of Information Management has provided this platform, and we've been in existence since 2010 in Nigeria. And as we speak till date, the Institute is proud to be having 9 chapters across the globe. Our international headquarters is in Denver, Colorado, in the United States of America. IIM is proud to also announce that we also have a chapter in the UK, we have in Canada. We do have chapters in Australia, in India, Switzerland, Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. Since the beginning of the year, we've been able to execute our plans as stated in 2022. We've had this year's annual convention in the city of London at the Royal Overseas League. In June, we were in South Africa, and in May, we were in Lagos at the University of Lagos. In July, we were in Chicago for the USA Annual Convention, and also in July, we were in Canada. Just recently, we had the Ghana Annual Convention, and here we are today in Abuja. I think the Institute deserves a round of applause. We have come to provide the platform for individuals and organizations to excel. Because for an organization to excel post-COVID-19, organization needs to leverage on quality data for decision making. Organizations need to ensure that they are able to reduce the cost of operations and promote efficiency by leveraging on quality data for their operations. There are lots of responsibilities that organizations have got to, live up to. And most importantly, in the field of data and information management is the data protection requirements. In the history of Nigeria, on June 12, 2023, for the very first time, we had a full-fledged data protection law being passed into law here in Nigeria. I think Nigeria deserves a round of applause. The implication of this is vast in the sense that now Nigeria can boldly say that as a nation, we have a digital economy that is based on solid foundation. We've got an economy that has the necessary requirement to be able to compete with other economies across the globe. But this has not only brought about opportunities, it has also brought about challenges in the area of compliance. Because ignorance in law, like they say, is not an excuse. Every organization and individuals that process personal data now in Nigeria are liable for unethical practices. So what it means is that as individuals, as organizations, we need to understand and responsibilities in ensuring and be able to see how have an insight into not seeing data and information management as an important component and a supplement for the organization. Will now need to pay attention. Information Management Institute has provided a platform for knowledge, platform for standards, platform for certification, and platform where stakeholders and professionals come together, to discuss, to share lessons learned, best practices, and to ensure that they are able to take full advantage of what this has got to offer us. So without taking too much of our time, I want to use this opportunity once again to congratulate those that are going to be joining the Institute as accredited members today. Henceforth, you are expected to be immaculate in character. You need to be professional in service. You need to ensure that you give informed opinion when your clients and your employers seek your opinion on data and information management responsibilities. Your membership of the IIM has bestowed on you the need for you to now evolve as an ambassador of this great platform to ensure that wherever you find yourself, you promote the cause for proper management and security of data and information. You need to exhibit a high sense of responsibilities in whatever thing you do. You need to display and ensure that you make your family proud, you make the institute proud, and you make Nigeria as a nation proud. Thank you, as I wish us a wonderful deliberation.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, let's give him a big, big round of applause. That is the International President and Chairman, IIM, Ambassador Dr. Oyewole Ayodeji Oyedekun, FIIM. Please, a big round of applause for him. For those who did not really know what IIM is all about, I think in a nutshell, he has given you the history of this great institute. And I'm sure that some of the new inductees are regretting why they did not invite their family and friends to be here. Because I don't know why you came alone. And we got this hall because of you. Now you know that you belong to a great institute. Please, let's give the institute a big round of applause. This is the 46th induction that the institute is going to be having. It's not been easy. They have come a long way. We are going to be calling on our keynote speaker in a short while. But before then, I'd like to introduce myself as the anchor for this program. My name is Josie Mudashiru, and I'm also a fellow of the Institute. Mr. Musa Benedict, please step up to the mic. Thank you.
So good morning, the President, the Vice President, and all fellow in the House, and the other inductees and fellow inductees that were coming on board. Like Madam just rightly said, 2 times that I have gone to Lagos for induction like this, I have seen the hall packed full. We have to have some part for even members to be while the procession is going on, and later they join. And the hall is like 3-4 times bigger than this. Well, we need to up our games, even as an institute, to let the inductees know the importance of what they're coming into, and so that people can, their family members can join them to enjoy it. Thank you so much. I'll be delivering my speech, and I think you will allow me to step this way. It's live. I'll not be sitting, I'll stand, but I just need to see. That's what I mean. Okay, so are we seeing this board from there? Not really. Will it not be beneficial, President, that some people can just relocate temporarily? We share this slide. All right. Okay, so like I've been introduced, my name is Musa Benedict. I'm a fellow in the institute, and for the public sector where I work, I am the archivist and the record manager and data officer of the organization. I'll be delivering a keynote speech on this um, IIM 2023 Abuja Annual Summit and Induction and Investiture Ceremony, which is titled, and the theme is Data Governance Strategy and Data Protection, Compliance, and Business Growth. Okay. We want to talk about data governance strategy. And like the president had already given in the opening speech, everything that we do in life, we generate data. And the data that we generate come up to be the information that eventually we need to move forward in our daily life, in every business that we do. But significantly, the world has evolved, that the entire world is like a global village where we don't do things in isolation anymore. And law is not a respecter of ignorance. So whether you know it or not, you are implicated. And so airlines and airports have to upgrade and make sure that they conform. So in our little enclave, wherever we are, in our businesses and our organizations where we work, we sit and step on data and information sometimes without knowing. So it has become expedient that we should be able to know how to put a governance on the data that we generate. And we talk about the strategy to do that. On the slide here, we talk about data governance extends to physical storage of data and policy on how data is moved from and processed and to serve other users. We also talk about data governance, that it involves setting up procedure and regulatory or regulations to ensure that a smooth sharing, managing and availability of the data is ensured. Because sometimes we share the data without knowing the import of it. But with the awareness, we should be able to guide how we share them. In my organization, for instance, anything that is official, you can't have it shared. You may try to share, but you won't be able to have it shared. So a system has been put in place so that you cannot share it. Governance will also encompass data security, retrieval, and synchronization and ensuring accuracy of the data. If the data is not accurate, the result will not be accurate. So what is the strategy to make it accurate? It is something that is in focus. And data strategy, governance strategy, it has to increase, it hampers increased sharing of company data that necessitates company to develop and net framework, to regulate them. In our climb, regulation, all right, thank you. Yes. In our climb, we probably be having poor regulations. But with what God is doing with us, using our president today, the awareness of data and information quality is already on the table. And I see him canvassing and struggling hard to bring all Africa on board. So we cannot wait and sleep. So when you have data governance procedure, you experience faster decision making in your organization. And lastly, I want to say that the data strategy, the strategy defines how data will be used efficiently in an organization if you have them. But where if you don't have them yet, you need to have. Is this my next? Huh? No, I'm saying is that in there? Yes. Data governance. As it is in definition, in just my own way, is that it is used, it's a term used both in macro and micro level. When it is at the macro level, it's talking about maybe a concept and forms that forms the part of international relations and internet governance. But what we are supposed to concern ourselves is the micro level, which says that data management concepts and forms part of corporate data governance. I think that's what we want to look at. Sorry. How do I move? Oh, this is not working now. The needle is pointing. I said to move it. So, okay, so just help me. What is governance strategy? A data governance strategy defines how data is named, stored, processed, and shared. Instead of data being a byproduct of an application, it is supposed to become a vital company asset. Data is supposed, and it is, a vital organization and company asset. If your data is compromised, the company is going down, no matter how little the company is or how large. Uh, no, uh, they have. Some people develop it before they struggle through the process of development. Somebody, their product is already in the market. Why? Because they share the idea, and that is the quantum of data. You can understand. When you are explaining, you are going into details for that person, and it's already unique with another person. So also in the little place that we do our businesses, no matter what it is, you are supposed to, when you have clientele, you are not supposed to let the next person know because he wants to steal it. Who is a clientele? That person that wrote his name down and have his phone number there. I may not know him, but if I have the phone number, I have the person already because I'm going to offer him first what you are doing and he will move to me. All right? So every bit of information is important and they are the ones that make the information. But for information that we gathered, there are data, and those data need to be protected. In this regard, the company will set up processes and structures to clean up, store, and share this data in an appropriate way. This process eliminates duplication of resources, of course. If you do not keep your data properly, you will be doing one thing several times, spending time and money. All right, but if it is streamlined, then it helps you and it will help the organization to move forward. Next, please. We want to talk about the micro level. What the way that data governance affects us in our businesses. I do not know the audience because it's not a corporate, I mean, you are not from one organization. So there are probably people that are working for government and people that are working for themselves here. So we're talking on a global basis. Now, if you have a business, how do you manage your data? The focus is on individual company And the data governance here is the concept that concerns capability that enables organization to ensure that high data quality exists throughout the complete life cycle of the data that you have. And now, what does it mean? We all travel, and when you go to a place today outside of your home, you will need to take a rest in a hotel. And recently, I had an encounter that the form they gave me to fill was asking everything up to next of kin phone number. I said, but what is it? How is it necessary? I think what is happening is that they do not know how to manage their data. Because if you know how to manage your data, you don't need everything that a man needs. And also, the president is here. The country needs to up their game of knowing who the citizens are. Because elsewhere, if you just give a phone number or a car number, they don't need to ask you any other question. Everything about you is already known. But here we need to ask all the questions, all the names, and where you come from, your village, your street, your mother maiden name, and all of those, your religion, and all of those things. You know, they are not necessary. But since we still give them today, how do we keep them? That it becomes our asset. That we should know that we are not operating in isolation. In that hotel that I stay, any other person, any other national from anywhere can stay there. And if you breach their confidentiality of the data, they will be afraid. Even while they are sleeping, that form that I saw, they will not, I didn't even feel it. I told them that I leave them. I had to skip a lot of things and just put my signature there. You open where other person can see. You can have maybe a QR code. You know, a client will and more data than that. I think that is what we need, and every business need to know. A data controls the eliminated objective. The key focus area of this data governance include availability, usability, consistency, data integrity, and data security. Key word of the data, and this is where you can break them. All right. The usability or availability is not the issue. If it is too available, you are losing integrity or security on them. And anybody, the company can down. They practice to ensure effective data management throughout the enterprise. So that has and the adverse effect of poor data quality that may turn out, and ensuring that the data which an enterprise has can be used in the entire organization and elsewhere. Data steward. Every organization is supposed to be a good data steward. Stewardship, having them, managing them, is the only reason why your company can grow. In this paper, we are going to see that what brings the company down is information, and what makes the company to stand and continue to expand is the integrity and security of the data that you gather. It brings confidentiality into the man or the people or the other company that are working and trying to take your service or that you are working with. So this is a very vital thing to do, that you must have a good stewardship of the data that you take from anybody that you are serving. Yes. Okay, so this data governance encompasses the people, the process, and the information technology that you require to create consistent and proper handling of an organization's data across the business enterprise. Of course, and it provides all data management practices with necessary foundation strategy structure that is needed to ensure that the information you are gathering are well kept. And some of the goals, some of the reasons, some of the things that you need to do for the benefit of the organization are listed here. Not all of them we may talk about, but one is increasing consistency and confidence in decision making. If you don't have information, you can't take good decisions. Businesses take maybe 5 years of analysis of how far they have gone so that they can project forward. But in your case, if you do not have a record of 2 years from here, then how do you will be looking at just the record of this year and be thinking that you are doing well. But you need an average of some years and the analysis to be able to project. So you need information and you need to keep them, and it will help you take a better decision. Decreasing the risk of regulatory fines. If you keep your record well and is safe and is secured, then you may not breach information leakage. Regulation sue you. And I just left again, this is Nigeria. I'm sorry to use that word of it. Somebody just called me and asked me, who are you? He said one company that I don't know. I said, how did you get my number? Do you understand? You don't do that elsewhere. If you have my number, you're supposed to have everything. So, security, we've talked about that already. Defining, you don't just take your data and put it just anywhere for anybody to run it. You maximize the income generation potential of data. This is something that I need, that I started learning again. About it gives you the business that you started. All right, there is what you can do with income generation potential because you have a data that is to be exploited. Many people, we have data everywhere, in anything out of it. Okay, so and recently in the social media, some people have how many likes, how many followers, and they can trade with it. All right, that they are popular, and popularity is something that can bring you money. All right, so that's just to say a little about that. But while you have a company that have data, beside the business that you are doing, there is an income that you can generate because of your size, your clientele. It will make you to be in the leading in that organization, in that business cycle. All right? Okay, please, next one. Enabling better planning, maximizing or eliminating rework, that is helping yourself not to waste resources, optimizing staff effectiveness, yes, and establishing process performance baseline to enable improvement efforts and acknowledging and holding all gain. So it says that these goals are realized by the implementation of data governance program or initiative using change management techniques. All right? And also, when companies desire or are required to gain control of their data, they empower their people, set up processes, and get help from technology. All right? So, you get help from technology if you need it. If you have it, you can deploy it yourself. And without data governance, it is almost impossible to meet privacy law like GDPR and CCPA. What is GDPR? General Data Protection Regulation. Amen. Now, and you don't want to be receiving regulatory fines. Nobody wants to do that because it will only one hit, it can be up to millions, and it can turn your company down. This time we know. Data protection compliance. The compliance signals to customer that their personal information will remain secure. So if people come into an organization and can find that their data can be, you have compliance. And that is why some organizations now have ISO compliance, and people want to, other organizations, high organizations want to work with you. They need to know whether you are compliant, whether you are certified with ISO. There are many ISO, so it's all because of compliance. If you have to be